So, did I ever tell you two about the trouble I got into when I was younger?
Probably.
Wait, he told you not to talk until he was done.
No, I said you could respond to my questions and
At
stuff.
the end, because that's the point.
No, the end is the point.
The trouble you got into as a kid. No, Josh, tell us. I know what I was going to say.
Okay. So, the year was 1985. My family and I were cash-strapped and living in a rough neighborhood. My brother would leave the house every afternoon and not come back until very late. He would bring my parents money for rent and groceries. He bought me my first real pair of shoes when I was 8 years old. I would ask my parents where he was going, and they would look past me with a 1,000-yard stare and say, "Danny's working. He's doing it for us." What's that look?
Continue.
I could tell by the worry in their voices and by how he shrugged off my questions and told me not to follow him that it must be dangerous. One day, the curiosity got the better of me, and when he left the house, I followed him. I tailed him silently, keeping my distance all the way down to the most dangerous part of downtown, where he stopped on a corner and seemed to wait there. Minutes later, a man approached him and handed my brother something, and he was handed something back in return. He was selling something on that corner. He stayed there all afternoon and evening, making sale after sale as I watched him from the window of an abandoned house across the street. Then, as daylight faded, a car sped towards his corner and swerved past him. Over the sound of screeching tires, I heard loud cracks like thunder. In the dying light, I saw flashes from the open passenger window of the car as my brother fell to the ground. He had been shot. Do you not remember this?
No.
Oh, I must not have known you then. I ran from my hiding place towards where he lay on the sidewalk. I could see the shock in his eyes when he saw my face leaning over him. "What are you doing here?" he gasped. "It isn't safe. Run!" I heard sirens in the distance. I was afraid. He grabbed my arm as I turned to run. I was shocked by how weak his grasp was. He shoved a bundle of papers into my hand and said, "Take these. The police will be here any second, and they can't find these on me or you'll never see me again. Hide them until I come for them." You look skeptical.
So you had an older brother?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
And you did this in 1985?
Yes. I took them and ran. I ran all the way back home and
He's
shut
4.
myself in my room. It wasn't until then that I looked at what he had handed me. Do you want to know what he had been selling?
Yes.
I feel like it's not drugs.
Black market World of Warcraft gold. This was before the internet, before gold sellers had it easy like they do now, shielded by anonymity. Back on those mean streets in 1985, if you wanted to sell gold, you had to print it out and sell it on the streets. I never saw my brother again. Pretend you haven't seen him either. I don't know what happened to him. Did he die? Was he arrested? My parents wouldn't say. All I knew was our family's only source of income was gone. It was up to me to support us now. All I had was a stack of WoW gold and enough desperation to try and sell it. I went back to his corner, and that was my job until I finally got caught. It was 1988 when I was arrested, and I did a year in the slammer. While I was doing my time, I decided when I got out I needed to go straight. Selling black market gold was just too dangerous for a kid of however old I was in 1988. When I got out, I rented... What?
You were 7.
That doesn't seem important right now. When I got out, I rented a room in a nice elderly couple's basement, and I got to work on my new career. I started selling leveling and gold farming guides out of the small cart that I wheeled door to door. This was still prior to the internet really taking off, so I had to haul around binders and binders of printed guides. It was grueling work, but it paid the bills. But that was a long time ago. Things have changed. Today, you can get all the leveling and gold farming guides you need without supporting organized crime or child labor from Rested XP.
I knew.
Just go to their website, restedxp.com, or follow the link in our Discord and use the code MERECASUALS. That's all one word, MERECASUALS, to get a discount on your purchase.
We are Mere Casuals.
So, do you know how much that would cost if you put that on a Super Bowl ad?
A Super Bowl ad? This is not the Super Bowl. We don't have millions of viewers, listeners.
And millions.
So shall we introduce ourselves?
Sure.
I am Alan.
We are Mere
O'Kona.
Casuals, a podcast about World of Warcraft.
I did it wrong.
You did what wrong?
Apparently, I introduced myself wrong.
I wasn't listening.
I got interrupted by Sam. Sam, stop interrupting.
I never interrupt.
So we're going straight into the intros today.
Okay, so we are Mere Casuals.
Oh, Sam's the one that says that in the intro. Say it, Sam.
We are Mere Casuals.
Maybe we should all say that and record it together so we get like a unison.
Ooh,
we
that's right.
are.
Okay, I'm going to count down from 3. We are mere...
Mere
Al didn't do it.
I didn't hear you count down. I just saw
I was
your
doing the
fingers
finger
moving.
thing. That's how you count silently.
Oh, you didn't say you were going to do it silently. Okay.
I think
let's
it was
do again.
assumed because my face is in a microwave.
Okay, let's do it again.
Microphone.
Why is it in a microwave?
Because I got the word wrong. Okay.
Hold on. Before you turn it on, poke holes in it.
So when my third finger goes up, we say
Is that this one? No, that's the
No,
second one.
it's this one.
It's this
That's
one.
the brother finger.
Did I? Oh, what was it? What was the? Oh, Spider-Man. Has a hard time doing this. Spider-Man.
Jimmy.
Who? Jimmy. Jimmy has a hard time doing this for the Spider-Man thing.
Jim Jury.
I couldn't think of another J name.
So Jimmy, he has a hard time doing this, right? So he was trying to do Spider-Man, and he's like, he can't get it right, and he's like this. He's like, oh, this is the Spider Boy, and he's like this. Oh, this is the Spider-Man, and I was like, what's the Spider Mom? And he goes, this is the Spider Mom.
Who is this one?
This one, yeah. You've seen this.
You get this, right?
You get the two fingers and then one finger down and then the one finger. No, we're just gonna. Well, you Google it later.
Yeah, Google that later.
So, anyways, we're gonna count down from
Like I've
3.
heard of this.
No,
it's shocking when you think about it.
Oh, I do it. It doesn't feel shocking.
not to you.
I mean, I shock somebody when I do this.
We're just gonna. I feel like Al is feigning ignorance.
No, actually, this ignorance is not feigned today.
Really?
Yeah.
So Al doesn't
you
know
Google
a weird,
it?
gross thing.
I
Can we
probably
just
can.
can we do the countdown thing first? We're gonna do the we're gonna do the countdown.
Oh,
So when I put up the third finger, we say it. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Me?
We
No,
are-
wait.
Why are introductions so hard?
Okay. Let's one more time.
2.
We are mere casuals.
Oh, we didn't have the same cadence.
Oh, look, that's so loud. We're probably going to cut this all in. Okay, so we are mere casuals.
It's a World of Warcraft podcast.
That focuses
Wrath of the
on
Lich King.
Wrath of the Lich King, a World of Warcraft expansion.
My name is Okona/Alan.
That's the wrong way.
I'm Sam/Rolaren.
No, you're Rolaren/Sam.
Okay,
He said it the wrong way too. I'm Will Riker/Josh.
he's
We-
crashing.
We've
No, you
altered.
heard what he said? He said we are mere casuals.
Oh, is that what he said?
In the back
I
room,
heard
yeah.
something about cat crashing.
That's the casuals part.
We are changing our identities. We're blurring the lines between reality and fantasy.
It's what we do. So
what we
I
do.
have. Should we go straight into the ever expanding influence of Alan? Welcome to the ever expanding world of Al. Trying too hard.
I have one.
Which is what we're calling it.
Al?
Oh, Sam found one. Oh, we're not going without your Al now, not Alan.
Well, isn't it Al?
Yeah, it is Al. Would you like to do yours first, Sam? Because I found one. I found one that's probably the most fitting one I've ever seen.
Mine.
Oh, good Lord.
You go first.
I'm afraid of yours then if it's most fitting to me.
Wendy's has turned to the Al-powered chat box for drive-through orders. So there
Oh, you
won't
work
be
for Wendy's
real,
now?
real people.
Yeah, well,
It'll just be Alan.
it's about time she's no longer a little girl. And Wendy, me and her box, we've got a lot of history. So it's about time that we started chatting through it. And
Ah, okay.
after multiple uses, it does create a bit of an echo.
So I'm trying to see how far back. I wasn't listening, but I got the punchline, and I feel like it was funny. I was reading through these, so I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to find ones that I haven't used yet.
I love that my first line to respond to was caught you to dropping your phone on the rim of your coffee cup. You
Made a big clink.
You had given up on life just right there already.
I almost dropped my phone in my cup.
Oh, that would have been bad. So
The
according
first
to
or the best part of waking up is Sam's cell phone in her cup.
We are not drinking Folgers.
oh yeah, we got new coffee.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
got
tell?
you new coffee.
Yeah, I know, because you
We fresh
ground it where
ground
I
it.
work, and you said, yeah, it was
At the coffee shop?
It was Sam and Jeff. I said, no, Jeff's my brother. Is he your brother? No, it's a J name. I said, okay, it's Josh.
How come I'm the forgettable one?
Isn't it obvious?
No,
Oh,
not to
okay.
me.
Yeah, it's not obvious to me.
I
too.
feel like I'm interesting, but we'll see. So
So
according
let
to
me ask you a question. Just how far over the red line does the puck have to go?
Oh,
all the
don't
way,
bring
it just
that
has to
up.
cross. It just has to cross the plane. If there is any tiny
what if they're
little
taking
bit,
a boat?
What if they're taking a vote?
A boat,
A boat.
not a plane.
Same. It's same. Different kind of plane. So, according to New Scientist magazine, doctors are using Al to draft messages without telling patients.
I am good at keeping secrets.
So you're good with the confidentiality aspect. Is it your fault that it's all impossible to read?
Yes. Have you seen my writing? I should have
probably
been
because I've gotten plenty of notes from doctors. I didn't know you drafted them all.
in another life. I must have been like a world-class pediatrician.
I don't know if you're saying that word right. Oh, you mean like doctor
World
for kids?
Class. Yeah.
Doctor for kids.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why I said pediatrician. In retrospect, I probably should. Heart surgeon.
Heart surgeon. That's not a pediatrician.
No, well, unless
That's a cardiotrician.
Oh,
Josh has
yes.
one of those.
I was a cardiotrician.
Yes.
Yes, but the one here in Peterborough kind of sucks.
What?
I like mine.
Oh,
I like his.
Isn't he like Mr. Grunt? Oh, do we have another one?
There's two.
Oh, so
one,
you agree with
one
me?
has been sued multiple times, and the other one's my doctor.
And this is the guy that doesn't talk to you. Just basically, you have an appointment with him. You sit in his office, and he speaks into a phone. He's okay. Have a good day.
Yeah, mine talks into a phone. He's a very nice guy, though.
No,
What?
but this other
He
doctor
doesn't
doesn't. So okay, you're the patient. I'm the doctor. Have a good day.
No, he doesn't do that. I go in and he has a conversation with me.
Not your
and he
doctor.
dictates. I don't know the other doctor. He's not my doctor.
Yeah, he's very friendly.
No, I don't think he is.
No, he's not.
I've heard the opposite, actually. So, apparently, there is a terrifying owl-generated woman lurking in the abyss of latent space. Do you know anything about this?
No, where is she?
Have
I
you
want
been
to find
weird
her.
sciencing and women into existence?
It's
in
Kelly
latent
LeBrock.
space?
I'm telling you.
And what is latent space? But I've looked through. There's like images, and it's terrifying. Oh, it says terrifying.
Can I see what my dream woman looks like?
It looks like a headline from TechCrunch. There's no picture.
Oh.
I can look it up later. You won't like it.
I don't know.
You would like anything.
Okay, so
at
here-
this point.
Have you seen Nebula on a bad day? Come on.
Noise in the background.
When Thanos
So this
tears
one,
all her mechanics out.
Oh, you like that?
I mean, come on. Who
I
doesn't?
likes disemboweling robots. So this one, this is from a reputable source. Okay, this is CNN.com that posted this. So you've got some questions to answer here. According to CNN.com, Al can be racist, sexist, and creepy. What should we do about it?
We already knew that.
Seriously, headline. It's like, I want to know what this is
Nothing.
about.
Kids are raised and they're told they can be anything they want to be. Why are we going to stifle them now?
So you wanted to be racist, sexist, and creepy,
Apparently.
and we should just let you be who you want to be?
Yes.
That's fair.
In the army. This is where Josh usually cuts in and says, Mere Casuals does not condone people being racist, creepy, or idolizers. Whatever that says.
Sexist, I believe, is what it said. I'll add that in. I mean, I think it's clear that we don't condone any of your behavior. In fact, there's a question in Discord about that we'll get to later. So I've got two. Do I have two more or three
Do you know
more?
what? My
I've got
behavior
so
is highly sought after at work. There are so many people who come in and they're grumpy, and when they leave, they're happy. And I had one person actually last week come over and says, "Yeah, we were in your line the other day." And I said, "You came back?" Goes, "Yeah, I was as entertaining last time as I am this time." She goes, "Yeah." So I have repeat people.
Well, I guess I was looking for you when we were there the other day.
Yeah,
Mostly
where were
because I
you?
didn't know how to grind the coffee. And
And
I
you
was too
thought I
scared
did?
to tell the person who I knew because I didn't think she'd help me.
Oh, you know that person?
No, the other person.
I've talked to her before.
Because she works there.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about your photographer?
No.
No,
That's
this
not
is,
who I was talking to.
This is someone who.
Ms. English?
No,
I don't want to say her name.
I don't remember
Starts
her
with
name,
an M.
but I know her.
Yeah, I said her last name.
Is that her last name?
Yeah, because I know her last name.
Obviously,
I
you
don't know.
her that
I didn't
well.
know you knew her first name. Okay.
So this,
She was
so this
wearing a
last
name
headline.
tag.
This. Oh yeah.
Oh,
they do
good
that there.
point. But you said you did start this off with somebody you sort of know.
Well, because I've talked to her before.
Right, so, excuse me for
Sorry, I
assuming.
stood up when I said that.
Yeah, we didn't catch that, but it's fine because we have one more, and this is the one that I found was pertinent. That I feel like we should be
Pertinent?
we should be on Microsoft to get on with this. So, according to the Irish Times, which I don't know where I find these headlines, the Irish Times apparently, Microsoft has been tuning Al for months to fix disturbing responses.
Yeah.
So there's hope for you.
There's no tuning this.
There's hope for you someday.
I've been trying to tune myself for months as well, but hey, I do tend to do some micro tuning every night.
So do we want to?
You know what I mean?
No,
Yes.
I just choose to ignore that. So what do we want to do right now? Do we want to go into the news? Do we want to talk about what we've been doing this week? Or do we want to answer some questions from Discord?
I like those ideas.
We have to choose one, though, because we can only do one thing at a time.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that up to me to decide?
I was leaving it up to the two
let's
of you,
deal
and
with
neither of you responded.
Let's deal with this this brute in our Discord.
Deal with the Discord
Okay,
question. Sam,
so
would you like to read the Discord
I will
questions?
read the Discord questions. So our first one is from Dimitri.
No, you shouldn't have told me that.
Why?
Oh, yes. The first, don't say who they're from, and we'll guess who they're from.
Which I
Okay, I
already
take
did.
it back.
Okay.
I didn't say who it was
So
from.
read the first question.
The first question
Is from.
how do the two of you tolerate Al?
Oh, I bet I knew who asked that one.
No, yeah, my first question, Dimitri. I didn't even ask it as a question.
So how do we tolerate Al?
I tolerate Al because he came into the relationship. I had no choice to be his friend, but to
That's
be his
right. I
friend.
came into the relationship.
Weren't you at his house when I met you?
I was friends with his wife at the time.
Gross. So technically,
She may be listening to this, you know.
she knows
I didn't
what
say
she is.
anything bad.
He said gross.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Do you want me to edit out the gross?
Well, you two are fast friends.
Yes. Fast? Yes. I never understood that.
Why? What did she say about Josh? What did she say? What did she say?
I'm not telling you on the air.
Nothing good, I hope.
Everything that she said, I already told you. That was one of the things that she had an issue with me with.
All right. So
Okay. How do you tolerate Al?
technically, didn't you know Al before I did? No.
No, you would have known
You
him
knew
first.
you knew her before I knew her. That was the thing.
Yeah.
So you
Well-
didn't join this. I joined this.
I was kind of hoping that she'd be my affair. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Sam.
Awkward.
So how do I tolerate Al?
You think we've forgotten.
This is something I've thought about a lot, actually. I don't have other friends, and I feel like I have to.
So I am default.
Yes, you're the default.
So if you had other friends.
I tolerate you until I find someone I like.
No, I don't buy it. You had other friends when I met you.
Did I?
Did
I guess
he
I
though?
Your former
Did I though?
former best man. I was your new best man.
Yeah. I've only had 2 so far. So
So far.
far.
How many more do you want?
Not really any right now, but we'll see in the future. I don't know.
Sam,
Pause for
turn your
phone call.
phone down.
So yes, the answer to the question, how do I tolerate Al with much effort?
Craig,
Craig?
you had friends. You had friends.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's because we share many a common interest.
Which is what
So
friends do.
And I feel like I probably annoy him just as much as he annoys me. So it's a fair exchange.
I annoy you?
I annoy you.
You don't annoy. Yeah, you do a little
Yeah,
bit.
I do, yeah.
You know what? If you try to avoid everybody that annoys you, you're going to be a very lonely person.
Some people are lonely people.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just a matter. You don't become friends with people because you like everything they do. It's an experience. It's a chance for you to grow. You help me grow.
Yes.
Ew.
It took me a long
Oh,
took me a long time. I used to think I was the smartest person in the world. You have clearly shown me that I'm not.
Aw. And also, I'd like to point out, I'd also like to point out that these are recording personas. These are on-air personas. In real life, Al
You
is
guys are not like this. in
so
real
much
life.
worse. So next question.
I was just thinking, hold on, just to further this. I mean, so I was your best man, and how many friends would do this? And then I was watching Castle the other day.
Okay, so the next question
No,
is...
listen.
See, we don't hate Castle.
No,
we just
I
haven't
wanted-
seen it.
Yeah, we've never
I
seen
wanted you to watch this particular part, but
I haven't done it yet.
so the one character's getting married,
Uh-huh.
and the two opposite guys are planning his bachelor party, and so the one guy says, "We'll do this," and it's something so manly, but he doesn't want to do anything against his wife. And then Castle joins in, "We'll do this," and he's like, so the guy's getting married. So he goes, "How about we go on a nice camping trip?"
For the bachelor party? Hey, we know someone that did that, don't we?
Yeah, but I feel like you didn't really enjoy it.
Oh, we did.
We enjoyed it very much.
But there was a lot of canoeing back and forth and people not showing up.
We
Yeah,
almost
that
both
was
died, but it was a fun time.
That was annoying, and we were exhausted. But I mean, you don't go camping to not be exhausted.
Because for context for our listeners who were not there, so we went up to Algonquin Park, which is a large provincial park in Canada
it's a small
/
province
Ontario.
in our province.
It is. It's the size of. I think it's bigger than a couple states. Like it's big.
How big is
So-
it compared to England?
I don't know.
It's probably the size of England.
Not quite, but it's big. I
That's
don't
what
know.
she said.
It's big. So we went up to there for a camping trip, and we decided that we were good campers and canoeists, and we were going to do a 3-hour canoe trip with two
Portages.
100-meter plus portages on the
with
way.
a heavy canoe.
With a heavy river canoe, which means heavy plastic and metal reinforcements on it.
So this canoe was purchased by my father-in-law. So this is just to give them context on the canoe. And when he bought it at Canadian Tire, and when they went there, they demonstrated it by turning it upside down, going to the roof of Canadian Tire and dropping a rock on it.
That's intense.
No, it was just out on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't break. So that's how sturdy and heavy this canoe would be.
So this was a sturdy canoe. So we did this, and our plan was, because we had another friend. So we had another friend. 2 friends? Were there 2 people
Maybe
supposed to be joining
3,
us? 2 to 3 people were supposed to be joining us on day 2. So Al and I went down, and we canoed this long trip in portage into the site with all our camping gear and firewood and everything for a 4-night stay at this middle of the woods far north campsite.
We call it backcountry.
We call it backcountry. Probably most people call it backcountry, but just in case, I thought I'd describe the situation. So we got back there, we set up camp, and the trip there wasn't bad. It was calm weather, very little wind. It was still tiring, but when you're canoeing across a lake with no breeze, no wind, nothing, it gets warm. But it's easy because that canoe just kind of glides through the water. There's no real resistance. They're designed for that kind of thing.
Right.
That's what a canoe is built to
Right.
do. So we got there, we set up. The next morning, our plan, now this, again, middle of nowhere, no cell service. So we had no way of hearing from these people that were supposed to be meeting us. So we knew that we had to be back at the front gate of the park by let's say 11.
The launch site, at least.
The launch site. Yeah, the boat launch. So not the front gate, the boat launch. So we wake up the next morning, and it is a windy, weathersome day.
Holy shit, was it ever.
So is weathersome a word? It is now, if it wasn't
It was very
before.
weathersome.
So we hop in our canoe, minus all of our gear, because we don't need to take all that. We took some water with us. We took our cell phones in plastic bags just in case we tipped. And we set off, paddling against a strong wind and quite a bit of chop, and just a whole bunch of exhausting circumstances. And it took us hours to get there. And at one point, there is one stretch of lake that was several kilometers long, and it just funneled wind into our faces for the entire trip down this lake. And we got to the end of that, we had another portage, and then we had to cross this big open stretch of water with 2-foot tall waves. It was nuts. And at one point we had to turn side on to the waves, and I was sure we were going to die. So we decided to cut closer to the shore and follow the shore along, and we reached a point where we were crossing a beach landing area, and we just said, okay, we've got a couple kilometers still across this lake. We can see the launch point that we need to get to, but we need a break. So we pulled the canoe to shore, we got out, and we collapsed on the beach and just laid there on our backs for probably 20 minutes because we couldn't move.
Now, do you remember one of those portages? So, I mean, you had your heart issues then as well.
Yeah.
But you had to take a break, and you were sitting down, and I went back, and
You
heaved
carried the
that
canoe yourself.
up. I love carrying that canoe.
It was just a series of feats of strength.
Yeah.
But
the
anyways,
thing is,
we
you
finally
have a tendency to forget your medication.
I took my medication.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it. It was good. So we got back in the canoe. We were rejuvenated by our 20 minutes passed out on the beach in the sun.
And then what did we do when we got back to the landing? We took a nap in the car.
Well, yeah. So we got back to the landing and looked around for our friends, and they were nowhere to be seen. So we pulled out our cell phones, because did we have a signal there, or did we have to drive up? We had to drive to the front gate. So we hopped in the car, because we had parked at the landing there. We hopped in the car, left our canoe just on the side of the lake there. It's Canada. Nobody steals things here. So we just drove back to the front gate of the park, where we finally had cell service.
And then our phones went...
And our phones start going off, and we get a message from our friend Carl, and Carl says to us, my truck, it doesn't, something, the tires,
Yeah,
the
basically-
tires are black, so I can't come.
Yeah, basically it came
So-
across as blah, 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 wife.
It was excuses, I'm not coming. Yeah. And we were like, wait, he's not coming? So we had gone all that way, and it's not that we had gone all that way. We had to now go all the way back again. So we just sat in the car and we slept just in the front seat in the driver's seat of the car for like an hour.
Which gave us more space than our tent did.
Which, yeah.
Was that the
yeah.
year you guys,
that's the
like,
year we
cuddled?
shared
We
a
were
tent.
cuddling. Yeah.
Yeah, we shared a tent that year. And then that day, because we had to get back before dark, so we had to like hop in the boat and we had to get back.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
And then
good.
you had to do it the next day too.
No,
You
2
go
days
home.
later, we did have a whole
Oh.
day.
yeah,
Okay.
we had a couple days where
That
we
was
didn't
one
have
of
to
our
go
longest
anywhere.
trips.
That was 4 nights. It was a 4-night trip.
Now, the good point, when we were in, we did manage to get an ice cream. So,
Did we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember. I don't remember the ice cream. I remember because like this was when was this? Like early August, July, June.
You would have went in July.
July. It would have been
probably.
July.
No,
No,
we got
late
married
June.
in July, so it
So
would have been
It
June.
would be the end of June because it was a couple weeks before the wedding, right?
I don't remember when you
So
went.
it would have been
Oh.
June. So it was warm. And I remember going because they have taps that tap down into like the groundwater, and it is the coldest, clearest water you will ever drink. And I remember just filling my water bottle and just chugging that ice cold water and just dumping it over my head, and it was the nicest thing in the world.
I'll throw some pictures up on the YouTube version of this just to show.
Do you have pictures of that?
I got, well, yeah, you got you
I
hold
remember
the
you guys
clam.
sending me a giant spider.
Oh wait, that was the one with the spider.
Was that the clam? Yeah, the spider was there. We caught a lot of clams.
Yeah, we didn't catch it. We brought our fishing poles thinking, we'll fish for our food. Yeah, we didn't catch a single fish.
It's a good thing we packed the dry food.
Yeah, well, we packed enough food to survive as well.
Yeah.
But
You know what? When you talk about that arduous, hard tour, I want to do that again.
we need to spend a year getting into not terrible shape. If
Can
we're gonna
I
do
come
something.
this time?
Maybe I
Don't
don't know.
you come every time?
Can you handle it? Can you handle the strenuous activity?
Yeah, like at least one portage, if not two. Like I want to go deep in again. Like all the way.
That's what
But-
she said.
No, that's what she asked. Are you in
I
all the
guess.
way?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, why? Oh, okay, never mind.
So that
Get it? Because it's like this
Is
big.
that picking up?
no, it is. I've just realized we're half an hour in and we haven't even talked about WoW yet.
That's okay.
We should get to that. So is
We
that
still have another
why are we
question.
talking about our camping trip? Oh, we were answering how do I tolerate Al? Yeah, because we go camping together. So next question.
Oh,
Thanks a lot, Dimitri. You just sidetracked us for 15 minutes.
Just to finish this sidetrack. Second year camping. Too bad we didn't have our cameras out. That was exciting.
What happened this? I don't remember now. Oh, the plane.
Was that the second or third year?
I think that was the second. I don't know, second or third.
What
year.
about the naked
No, that was
canoeist?
that was the same year. That was the COVID year.
No, it was before the COVID year.
That was the COVID year, wasn't it? Because didn't we go, or did we go to the same lake the COVID year?
We went to the same lake twice.
Oh, okay, so the second year we
one
went
time
to
we
that lake
hiked
was the
through,
COVID
and the
year.
next time we just canoed across.
Right. So yeah, the year so the year we canoed across. So like you're talking about the planes.
Yes.
Like was it two? It was two, right? Two low flying like military bombers like buzzed the lake.
Yeah.
Like we had just gotten there, we set up our campsite, and we heard like this rumbling, right? So we looked across the lake, and like they were so close, we could easily see the facial features of the pilots in the cockpit.
We could reach up and touch them.
It moved my hair.
What hair?
It's a story, Sam.
He had easily a couple millimeters more when we were there.
I cut it this short.
And then
this is voluntary.
The COVID year was the worst.
Yeah,
Was
the
that the
COVID
mouse year?
This is the mouse year. Was the year that I was
right.
I was sick. That's the year where we went in August.
Yeah.
And I got really, really sick. I took a lot of time off work. I may have had COVID, but I just never got tested. Although when I did get COVID over Easter, it did feel different. So maybe not. Could be variants as well. I don't know. I just really sick. That's when I stopped smoking because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And you even asked, I said, "Are you okay? Because you're not moving well."
Yeah. There was the 1 year where I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
if this is.
That was our 4-day trip, and, it lasted.
And we had a really sketchy canoe that year too. Because
yes,
that's the
we
year
almost
rented a
tipped it
canoe.
just getting into it.
That canoe was bad.
The seats rocked. Yeah, so we had a bad night. We were scheduled for like 3 or 4 nights, and we had one night of sleep, and then by 4 o'clock the next day, we decided to just abandon the trip.
Because let's add more context to that, though. A, we both kind of felt like crap. So B, that campsite was infested with mice. Like all the night that we were there, they were scratching outside my tent. They were climbing up the side of my tent. Like they were just swarms of mice. Like we must have been on top of like a mouse city.
We were. There was spongy ground, and we found it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but didn't
it
the
was
campsite
crazy.
that was only available, like people brought in food and left all their
There was a
garbage
bunch of
too,
food and garbage left in the site. It was bad. And also what tipped us over the edge was looking at the weather forecast. There was a storm due to hit that night, the second night. So we kind of had to, we stayed for most of the day. And then we kind of were reaching a point where I was saying, okay, we've got, X number of hours before sun's down. We need to decide if we're doing this or not.
Was even worse. It was bringing back the canoe. We had X number of hours before that store closed.
Right. So we would have had to sleep in the car, basically, if we...
Which I would have been fine with.
I would have rather slept in the car than slept in a storm of mice during a thunderstorm. Ooh. I mean, normally I don't... Like, if we're camping and it rains, I don't mind that. But that was
Did you have the van that year, so you would have had more room to sleep?
No, we had the car. We've never taken the van camping.
I don't think so. Oh, we did one year. Because I remember putting the canoe on it.
Was it the old van, though?
Probably.
It was that old van.
Yeah, it would have been.
But no,
Still
I don't think we had that van. I think we had the car. We had not that car, but the old car, didn't we?
The van?
No, we didn't. I never took that old car was dead before.
Now we got better
Not
vehicles to
important.
camp in.
So yeah, we can take the van next time we go camping.
The back of our new van would probably fit a nice air mattress. So if we ever go cold camping again.
we're not sleeping in a van. We're going real camping.
Not cold camping.
Also,
that sucked.
The camping in negative temperature wasn't great. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. But
anyway, I kept us sidetracked.
you did keep us sidetracked. So let's answer our second Discord question, and then 45 minutes from now we'll get to the point.
Okay.
Was there a second Discord question?
There's a second Discord question. It is Josh ever going to figure out how to let us deposit things into the guild bank?
Okay, so my answer to that was, didn't I? I thought I did.
I don't know. I've never checked the guild bank.
So do you remember on Ask Candy, we had trouble with the 13th Colony Guild Bank?
Yeah.
Do you remember your solution for that?
I made you leader, and you fixed it, and then you made me leader again.
Yes.
So
But I thought you walked me through it. I thought I fixed it the other day.
Yeah, apparently not.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Yeah, because I figured out my user interface doesn't show if I haven't bought a bank tab.
Yeah, I did have to
So I
turn off
ended
the
up having
bags.
to buy the bank tab.
That buying the bank tab, I don't know. I think once
But
you
I
buy
did
a
do
guild,
it.
you get the first tab free, don't you? The
No.
first one's free. You
No.
got to pay for the rest.
No, there was no slots. I had to buy the first tab.
Yeah, it sucks.
We're
when
talking
there's
about
no
WoW
slots.
right now.
Wow.
I need to drink. I've been talking too much.
I'm not interrupting enough. Sorry, Bob.
So, well, I get storytelling, and I can't stop.
Oh, I have a bone to pick with Bob.
Oh, what's our Bob bone? Oh, are we
Finish your question. Finish your answer.
You want
Okay,
to?
my answer was I thought I did, but you know what? Sometime this week, me and Al will get on the same time. I'll make Al leader temporarily.
Al and I.
Al and I.
Actually, I don't even know anymore. Me and Al.
I'll get me, Al, and I to do the leader swap thing, and he can figure it out. Because I thought I figured it out, but apparently I do not know how to do the guild bank thing.
You know what I do when I don't know what to do?
What?
I just throw up a YouTube video and follow it as I go.
I feel like I shouldn't need a YouTube video to turn on bank permissions. Why is it this complicated?
Well, regardless of how you feel, you've proven that you do.
No, because I know how to do it.
Apparently.
I just get you online and I make you leader and you do it, and then you make me leader again because I have control issues.
And since that's what I do, apparently you kind of do it by default. Like I'm your best friend by default. You use
because
YouTube
I don't
by
have
default.
somebody else. I don't have somebody else to ask, so I ask Al.
Sorry again. How far past the line does that puck have to go?
Far enough. I don't watch hockey again. It's a
I'm going to
stupid
get
league.
slapped today. We at Mere Casuals do not condone slapping anybody.
No, we definitely condone slapping Al. That's cool. Everybody that can do that. So that was our questions from Discord. Thank you to the two people. You didn't say you asked the second question.
You were supposed to guess.
Was it Oogly?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, because I
Oogly.
can see your phone. And you told us ahead of time, so the whole guessing thing kind of didn't work.
And it's also on Discord, and you can see it yourself.
I didn't because I had my script from the beginning open. So I never opened Discord. So what was your bone to pick? Is it about my story?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to tell the story, and you can pick your bone when we get to my story.
Okay.
So
When can I pick my bone?
when you get home. So do we want to do news? Do you want to do news?
Sure.
Because there's news this week.
Yeah.
I should open my phone.
Yay,
so
news.
pause for news intro while I open my phone.
It's time for the news.
It's time for the news.
Your recorded one's better.
Yeah.
So let's see.
You're gonna give the news that we all have. So
We all know this news, but I mean, we've only got like several people in Discord that have been talking about it, and we have like hundreds of listeners. So like, we're good for saying this still. Everybody knows, but it's news, so we got to talk about the news. So apparently, during a stream the other day, it was announced that the new hardcore seasons are coming. Nope. I'm gonna say that again. The new hardcore servers are coming. So apparently, there's going to be official WoW supported hardcore servers where you will make a character, and if that character dies, it doesn't delete it, from what I gather. You can continue to play as a ghost.
Yes.
Which, I mean, great and everything, but you can't do anything as a ghost, so you might as well delete the character at that point. But I guess it leaves it on your character select screen so that you can see like your progress on that character, maybe. Like maybe people want to leave it there, because I think if it instant deleted stuff, I mean, people would be like, oh, now how am I going to show my friends that I got this guy to level 47 before he died?
Well, they got to stream. That's how.
Well, not everybody streams, though. And if everybody streamed, then there would be no one left to watch the streamers.
Yeah, true.
That's the tagline from that movie. Who watches the streamers? That's the Watchmen tagline, right?
Who watches the
Who
watchers?
streams the streamers?
Who streams the streamers? The streamers stream the streamers.
So I guess the hardcore servers are going to be on PTR for a few weeks. And then they
Pretty tempting,
will be,
right?
They will be fresh. They will be hardcore fresh servers, so they will be classic era. I haven't heard. I don't think they took Bob's advice and had Wrath of the Lich King talents on a fresh server yet, but that could be coming. There's going to be more details later. It doesn't say when they're starting, but it says what's the word? Did they say very soon or soon? Either soon or very soon. So there's going to be that. And they also announced that there is going to be a new season of WoW Classic. They didn't call it Season of Mastery 2. And I think they're emphasizing the fact that it's not being called Season of Mastery 2. So that makes me... What are your thoughts on it, for starters? And then I'll say what my thoughts are.
Well, I didn't really know too much about that till about now. So
as I'm telling it about, you're hearing about it?
yeah, well, I mean, you kind of mentioned something quickly in Discord today, but...
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Because the one person was as excited about hardcore servers as I was.
Yeah, because you don't want to play hardcore.
Why it's...
Look,
You're gonna start over on a 0 to 60, on a 1 to 60 server. I don't know. We do it a Season of Mastery. I do it if it's temporary, but I don't want to have another place that I have to go to every day.
We don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's you remember what I said about hardcore last week, though, because you're saying how unimpressed you are and how you're not super into the hardcore. Someone else in this Discord was not super into hardcore, and they want to hear more about the Season of Mastery, which it's not going to be called. I was saying that I think after these hardcore servers comes out, I think hardcore is going to peter off a little bit and lose some popularity, because I don't think it's a long-term thing. Like, you can't do hardcore forever. Like, at some point, people are going to get bored of re-rolling after level 15 every couple days. Like,
Yeah.
Like there's people that take it very seriously, and who know exactly how to level, and like they practice, and they level the same class over and over and over again, and they're really into it. And then there's everybody else who's going to try it out, and I think the novelty is going to fade.
My issue with hardcore is that you can't actually use all the abilities of your characters.
Why not?
Okay, warrior, you can use the abilities, but then you get something like a shaman. So
So you can't like onk or res.
yeah, I mean, if it's a natural ability of a shaman, why is it not allowed in hardcore?
Because then it's not hardcore anymore.
But you have to be a shaman to use it.
True, but I mean, rezzing at the spirit reser is a natural ability everybody has as well. The whole point is if you die, it's the end. Like, it's not supposed to be, it's not a role play thing. It kind of is, but like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't work if like you had one class.
I mean,
that
I
could
guess
die as much as you
I
want.
realize they do have to have that rule, but it just seems Counter to the fantasy game that I play.
Also, another interesting thing I saw, I'm not seeing it here, but I'm sure I saw it somewhere, is that Rested XP has hardcore leveling guides.
Sweet.
So to help people out if they want slightly easier hardcore leveling.
Use the code Mere Casuals at your checkout.
Good point. Sam sneezed during your promo.
Sorry.
Use the code Mere Casuals at the checkout. Thank you for not sneezing this time, Sam.
Oh, so they're also adding a duel mechanic. I think this is specific to the hardcore servers where you can choose to duel to the death. So that seems kind of insane to me. So now on to the second seasonal WoW server. So here's my thoughts on this. They're I guess going out of their way to not call it Season of Mastery. So I guess the first one was the Season of Mastery. So this will be the season of something else. So this may go along with my thoughts from episodes and episodes ago, where I thought it would be cool if they went kind of EverQuest TLP style and had a different theme and rule set to each new season.
Okay.
So if the last one was Season of Mastery, this one could be Season of something that I haven't put any thought into yet. So like it could be Season of WoW Plus, Classic Plus. So it could be like a classic playthrough with some tweaks to it. So like maybe as Bob has been known to say, maybe classic with Wrath talent trees, or maybe classic with
houses in Stormwind.
There are houses in Stormwind.
No, like the garrison, your own house?
Oh, yeah. Who knows? Maybe. That's a thing that nobody has asked for, but they could do.
No, that portal in Stormwind that's gated up that never gets used was supposed to lead to like a personal abode. Yeah,
I did not know that. That would be neat. So maybe they have maybe classic with heroic plus style dungeon affects or something, or different difficulty modes.
Do you know what I would like in classic? Less need for farming every day of your life.
Yes. So how would that work? Like making so they kind of addressed that a bit with classic when they dramatically increased the spawn rate of Black Lotus. Hold on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Black Lotus would be good.
So if they even further increase the spawn rate of Black Lotus, or if they made flasks, do flasks last 2 hours or 1 hour in classic? So maybe if they doubled the time that flasks last,
2.
Or if they made flasks like persist through death or something.
Flasks do persist through death. Okay. You got me.
Yeah. But I mean, there's ways they could do that. They could ease it up a little bit because, like, did you just hurt yourself headbutting your microphone?
No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. I'm old.
Because that is a complaint some people have about Classic, the slog of farming and all this. I mean, if they're doing it seasonally, like if it's a seasonal server, then a good argument could be made about streamlining it and making everything faster. Because you want to, with a seasonal server, you want to start, you want to get through it, and you want to get it done, because you want to go through the content. So taking that kind of the grind out of it would help that, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? I think I hope they do something interesting with it. Either way, well, I don't want to see...
It better be interesting, yes.
Like seasonal server number 2, I don't want to see another just classic fresh server where they've done nothing to make it special for being seasonal.
Maybe get rid of the leveling grind and just put us raid ready.
I mean, they could. There have been servers in the past that have done that. I don't know if they've done it in WoW, but they've done it in other games where they've done like, what do they call it? I don't remember what they called it, but servers where you start at X level and they're like heroic servers.
If it's 1 to 60, what I'd like to see is...
Joyous Journeys the whole time?
Well, that'd be cool. I think they had that, though. The opening of AQ. I want to have something where other people can partake in that and not just a whole guild working on it, working towards the end for one person.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like if more than one person could get the fancy mount.
Yeah. Maybe bring the big 20-person bosses, 40-person bosses, bring them down to a lower group. So it's still a group effort, but you you don't have 40 people working for one. You'd have
So-
5 people that can do it over and over again.
So what you're saying is you want a bunch of lazy casuals to have access to the stuff that only the people that are better than us should have access to?
No, I didn't say
Because that
lazy at
seems
all.
unfair to those people who are better than us.
Yeah,
'Cause they
no,
worked
I,
for it, you
I
know,
didn't
Al.
say lazy.
They work.
I just
for
said
it.
smaller groups.
You don't understand how much effort they put into everything they do.
Yeah, I do, because I saw a raid leader just kind of sit there. Yeah, I do, because I saw a raid leader sit there and watch us farm things for him.
He did supervise.
He's a hell of a
And then yell at
supervisor.
He was there most of the time.
Yeah.
That was
You know,
fun.
the
Yeah, no,
more
it'd
I
be
think-
cool if that stuff was open to more people.
The more I think back to that, the more I get pissed off. But hey,
They should also, from the start, at the beginning of this fresh classic season, they should have random dungeon finder,
yeah.
because a lot of people like that, and some people get just abnormally angry about the idea of it, and I find it hilarious.
They don't have to do it. I mean, the dungeon finder, it nerfs this loot, so the loot's not as good as a regular raid. So
No, you're talking about raid. You're talking about LFR, looking for raid. I'm talking about RDF, random dungeon finder, not to be confused with RFD, Razor Fan Downs,
right.
or the Stockades, which has nothing to do with anything.
The random raid finder.
Looking for raid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
See, I'm talking
You're
about
right.
I'm talking about random dungeon finder, which stops people from having to run to each dungeon,
wanna
which
join my
breaks the
guild?
immersion for one guy who thinks everybody should have to run to every dungeon. Did you know that we should all play the exact way that certain people want us to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Isn't
know. I
it
play
obvious?
with you.
Because here's my thing. Here's my thing with random dungeon finder, and I meant to go off on this last week, but I forgot because I got distracted by other things. So
Yeah,
if
actually,
they put
yeah, I
if they
noticed
put
that.
in random dungeon finder, that gives people that want to use random dungeon finder the ability to use random dungeon finder, and it gives people who want to just quest through the zones and experience the immersion of the world, in air quotes, you can still do that. Like I've heard the argument that if you have random dungeon finder up and you are leveling in a zone and you accept a couple dungeons, oh, you've leveled out of the zone now. You're going to have to move to the next zone and you're chasing quests the whole time. You could just not. Like, you don't have to queue for the random dungeon finder.
No, you don't
You
have-
can just soak up that immersion
Yeah.
and walk from zone to zone and do all the quests. And if you want to do a dungeon, you can get your group of friends together and you can go do the dungeon. Nobody's stopping you from playing your way.
Yeah.
You're the one trying to stop other people from playing their way.
And you don't have to go chasing quests. You can just get rested XP, but use the code Mere Casuals at checkout.
And yes. But the thing is, my point is, why limit the way other people want to play the game? If they want to play it in a more casual, dungeon grindy way, like maybe I have leveled Dungeons of Dozens. Maybe I have leveled dozens of characters already. Maybe I've done the quest chains for every zone. Maybe I would like to level, say, a warlock without having to leave Dalaran and just sit there and run Dungeon Finder.
Buying
Maybe
boosts
that would
doesn't
be,
count as leveling.
Maybe that... Okay, I boosted a paladin. I have leveled 3 paladins to max level already before that. I feel justified in not doing the 4th one.
Choke on it.
So maybe after I've leveled dozens of characters and I have experienced the immersion of the world, maybe I want to sit back and just run dungeons this time. Maybe that should be an option.
Yeah.
Maybe the people that think that I'm trying to play a solo game, maybe those people can go stick it somewhere or something. What's the figure? I don't know figures of speech. Maybe they
Stick
can.
it where the sun don't shine.
Is that the thing? Yeah, maybe.
That's right, Canada.
Yeah, I get annoyed at people telling me how I should enjoy the game.
Yeah.
That bugs me so much.
I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about you.
No,
What is your thoughts on
you
this?
Clearly
You-
show
do
us
you
how
remember?
not. You clearly show us how not to enjoy the game.
Do you remember using Dungeon Finder?
Don't you dare get that experience point without me.
Yeah. Well, no,
Love
because we've
you,
been.
Sam.
So me and Sam have been leveling I made a shaman and she made a mage, and we've been leveling them together. And so the other day, so I have a computer, and I use that term loosely because it is a pile of scrap metal that can't do anything it's supposed to do. I hate it so much.
Go get a new one.
Yeah, you say that as if I have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting around.
It's not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes, but it's
just-
thousands of dollars, and that's a lot of money. So
Do you get a discount?
either way, my computer, no?
It's on sale though to the end of the month.
I did see that it's on sale for $1,299
and 99 cents.
And 99 cents, which that's the breaker. That's what gets it for me.
Yeah.
I don't have any pennies, so how am I supposed to pay the 99 cents?
Well, you do what everybody else does. You round up.
Oh, well, then it's an extra penny. Why not just list it? Okay, here's the question.
I know.
Why
I
not
thought
just list it
of
as
this yesterday too as I was
Why are
driving
they listing
home.
it as $1,299.99? Everybody knows that's $1,300, and pennies aren't a thing anymore.
Yes, I was thinking of that when I was driving home yesterday. That exact thought just went through my head. Why do we still have 99s?
But that is super not the point. So,
I mean, it's not for the same reason we still have 69s.
That's a different thing entirely. So, Sam, we were playing our mage and shaman the other day, and I was trying to boot up my computer, and
Is
it's
this
just
news?
no. Oh, pause for news outro.
Okay, pause.
And that, as they call it, was the news.
So me and Sam have our mages. No, I have my shaman. She has her mage. And the other day, we decided we were going to play for a bit before I had to go to work. So Sam boots up her computer and gets in game like immediately. And I start booting up my computer. No, I start trying to boot up the game because my computer's already on. And my computer's like, no, I don't want to. So I have to reboot my computer. And I have to wait for it to go through all its nonsense. And then eventually I finally get into game about 20 minutes later. And Sam's been like grinding mobs this whole time, just killing stuff.
Slowly, one at a time.
One at a time is how you kill a lot of things, yeah. And so I get in and we're playing, and she levels, and I haven't leveled yet. And she's like, "Oh, am I ahead of you now? How did that happen?" I was like, "It's because you were killing stuff for 20 minutes while I was trying to log in." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Whereas if it was the other way around, I would still be hearing about it.
No, I don't have any heirloom like you guys.
We didn't do heirlooms on these characters.
Sam, you still love me, right?
No.
So I can hear that when you do that. So she was like mysteriously okay with one of us out leveling the other as long as it's her out leveling me.
I try so hard. Like we got to stop complaining about a level gap that is like really, really tiny, especially since
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I didn't care. Did I care?
Yes.
I just, and it's not that I'm getting mad at you. I just don't want you to be sad about the game all the time. But
You make me sound like a terrible person.
no, not at all. I think I know what it is that you just want to be like
Better than somebody for
you
once?
just want to be better than everybody right now, which I
I'm
get
always
it.
the one behind.
I used to be like that, but it's just the way it is.
It is.
So I've been playing for a number of years, but Josh been playing for like at least a year longer than me, but he is better at it than I am. So I'm always going to be behind him. In fact, I get frustrated when he runs off and does quests. Like, let me read the damn thing. Let me know what I'm doing. And then he goes, "How do you not know what to do?" So because I spend my time following you, right? So
Well, have you
and
not
you're-
done this stuff like 100 times already?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, and then he's got that point of view as well. Like you've done this a lot, but I'm not doing it, thinking about it as much. And now you're joining
I have
in
to
with
think about it.
far less experience. And again, you're just doing that whole I'm going to follow you, and then you're getting frustrated that we're not reading the quests. So I know how you feel because I've been there, but it's nothing. It's a few levels. There's a few levels. Class quests will always push somebody a little bit over, and we
Yeah.
can still get into the same dungeon.
she's ahead of me even with me doing all my class quests.
Yeah.
Because it takes me so
Not by
long to turn my
much.
computer
I just don't
on.
want you to be angry
Not angry.
You
or
look
sad.
angry.
Not sad.
Okay.
That's not your
just
angry
my
face? Oh, wow. Okay. So,
I'm still interested in the bone you want to pick with Bob.
one more thing. Oh, we're getting to that really soon. So one more thing about the random dungeon finder. Do you remember when we played? Because this isn't Sam's first time playing. We did play very briefly years ago, and
Until I broke the computer.
back in.
Isn't that when you were living with me?
No, that was we were here.
I never played then.
Yeah,
No, you
We were
did then.
living in
I
this
did.
house.
Yeah.
we were
I
we were in
started
this
playing.
house, and
What a horrendous time that was, eh?
Yeah.
so we were playing, and I don't remember what level we were at. I feel like it was might have been during Mists of Pandora. Might have been the expansion after that. No, it wasn't Cataclysm.
Pandaria.
Pandora, yeah, that's what I said.
Pandaria.
Yeah, whatever it is. So I think it was during that, and we were doing random dungeon finder while leveling, because the two of us would group and we'd do quests and we'd queue for dungeons. I always played a healer and she played a DPS because it got us it got us spots much faster if one of us queued as a healer, because that was the most needed class at the time. So because people, it's the same as it is now. People would make tank classes because you could solo with tank classes. Less people played healers because you couldn't solo as well with a healer. So we would do that, and we'd queue up, and we'd get into a dungeon, and Sam would get lost, and the other people in the dungeon would get mad, and they'd vote kick her. And it happened a few times.
That.
I remember that. I remember that. I wasn't there, but I do remember the story.
There was a number of times where that happened, and they'd be like, "Oh, this." I don't remember what your character's name was at the time. Some nonsense.
Sam
and they'd
and
be
Antha.
like, "Oh, it was probably Sam and Antha." Now that you mention it, because you use that a lot. They'd be like, "Oh, this Sam person is going the wrong way again. If she does it again, we're gonna kick her." And I was like, "If you guys kick her, I'm leaving too." And they're like, "Yeah, no, you won't." And I was like, "Okay." And inevitably, like 4 or 5 times probably in a process of leveling, they'd do a vote kick and you'd get kicked. And I'd be like, "All right, have fun with your queue, guys." And I left. And they'd be like, "What? No." And they're like, "We can get a new DPS super fast." And I was like, "Yeah, but
That's
no.
not the point. I want to play with
So
her.
I would just, if they'd kick her, I'd just leave, and they'd be sitting there stuck with no healer,
Fucking
with half a
nerds,
dungeon
eh?
finished. And they were so dumb about it sometimes. Like we'd be running
Because-
through, and they'd be like, "Oh, you got to keep up. You got to keep up." And they didn't complain about her DPS. They just complained when she'd take a wrong turn. So people were so dumb. But that's the
honestly don't remember
downside.
that.
That's the only downside to the random dungeon finder, is that they had that kick vote.
Yeah,
Which is stupid.
they did get rid of it.
Did they
Or
eventually?
at least
Okay, I
it
was
was
going to say, if you're going to do RDF, drop the vote kick, because that gets
Yeah.
toxic.
they either did that or they put a time on it, because I did a Violet Hold with Spell Skull
Yeah.
back in retail.
Yeah.
And I had recount up. I was doing was one of the top DPS. I was easily in this dungeon run. I was easily one of the top 3 DPS.
Can I ask you a question? Because, well, there are 3 DPS on a dungeon.
I know
run,
you did.
But that's not my question. My question is, do people care what someone's DPS is on a Violet Hold run?
Right. So the guy's complaining about me, and I was up near the top, either number 1 or number 2, right? And so and I was doing my numbers were similar, and I'm going, well, what are you complaining about? Anyway, they got to the point, just we'll let this go. We'll kick him when we can, or something like that. And I said, seriously? So, because you're not doing anything. So if you think I'm not doing anything, watch me now. So they
Sit there
initiated
and wait.
they initiated the dragon. Well, they did a few bosses or whatever. They initiated the dragon. I'm just running around doing things, not fighting the boss. And then they said, just don't heal him. So I stayed near the healer. I just stayed out of the line of fire.
Yeah.
I didn't need healing. And they got really, really mad. They started making fun of me. And it's like, okay.
Well, don't announce that you're going to kick somebody. Then you're just going to stop trying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. It was the best time ever.
I'm sure, I don't remember, but I'm sure there was probably times where I got annoyed and stayed in the group and just let them die and then left. Like, that's totally the kind of thing I would do.
Do you know what ones where I thought I'd be kicked? I think it was one of the Wrath Dungeons pit, maybe the Pit of Sauron.
One of the ICC ones?
Maybe it wasn't Wrath. Maybe it was a Cataclysm.
Hold on.
No, sorry, it was a Cataclysm dungeon, but I was playing my shaman,
Yeah.
Notagog, and so one thing I hate about Notagog is that we're fighting the bosses and I'm mashing my keys, mash those buttons, and this mob dies, but I hit one more button and my Storm Strike hits the next mob in the pack, and I'm going, okay, I didn't do that. I did do that. Okay, whatever. And they got like the first hit kind of add-on type thing, and
Yeah.
they didn't kick me and nobody said anything, but I pulled a few more. I pulled a few packs that way.
Ah, who cares? People do that all the time in raids. They don't get kicked.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of raids, should I tell my raid story now?
Sure.
This will be the what have we been doing this week thing. So, what was it what day was it? Was it last weekend?
I don't remember.
No, because it was a school night.
No, it was like 3 nights ago. Were you up to 4 in the morning?
Yeah, Wednesday or spoilers. Wednesday or Tuesday night. So I get home from work and I'm
I think
sitting.
it was Wednesday.
It's probably Wednesday. So I get home from work and I'm sitting around and I think I'm having something to eat, and I think I was in Valheim. And yeah, I was in Valheim because I was talking to Oogly. I think it was Oogly. Might have been Dimitri. Probably Oogly. And I was like, when Al gets on later, we should totally kill the Elder Boss. And then I logged off. I didn't come back. So I noticed, I look at my Discord.
He did mention that to me.
Yeah, I look at my Discord and I see that Bob's messaged me and he's like, you want to do something? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I get on and we go and we do a ZG mount run. And that was pretty quick. And he's like, oh, you know what we should do? We should do an all-to-our 10-man. And I was like, yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I think I think I was on his stream at that point.
Were you yet?
Oh, yeah, because I think I saw him in ZG. I
Possibly.
did see. Sorry, here in Canada.
I couldn't remember.
I did see him in ZG.
ZG. Do they call it ZG? No. Don't Americans say Z? Or do we say Z?
Yes,
I don't
we say
remember.
Z.
We say Z?
Yeah, sometimes we say Z just to be easy to
Well,
our.
ZG doesn't have the same flow as ZG, which is super not the point.
Yeah.
So,
But I did see that, so yeah,
You were-
I was
you were
home
there.
watching.
So yeah, but I'm not telling the story for your benefit. I'm telling it for the listeners' benefit.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know you were there.
Really? Because you just asked a minute ago. Really? Were you there?
I forgot. So, anyways, we did ZG. He's like, "Oh, we should do all to our 10." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." This is on my paladin, who is better geared but still under geared. So I'm not going to go through all of the nitty gritty details of putting the group together. Basically,
not?
we got a couple people, and he found another group that was like half a group that we joined up with, and we go start Alduar. I don't know, around 10:30ish. I don't remember what time it was, but it wasn't super late. So we get in there, and Bob, being the skilled, experienced player that he is, probably assumed that everyone else is good at the game, and he's like, let's do all hard modes. So we did. So we get in there and we do Flame Leviathan, and Flame Leviathan goes surprisingly well, and we kill it first try, and we get absolute crappy garbage loot. Nobody cares. So we go on, we skip Ignis, because apparently nobody likes doing Ignis. I did not know this. Do people hate Ignis?
Maybe just because he's skippable. I don't know, but
He
he's
is
pretty
skippable,
easy.
but people seem to universally hate Ignis. Razor Scale's skippable too. Nobody wants to skip him. But either way, we skipped.
Maybe he's pointless to them. Is his loot worth anything to anybody anymore?
I probably needed something, but I didn't see anything that was worth speaking up about. Like there was nothing like great.
Okay.
Would have dropped anyways.
There's no hard mode for Ignis either, so it would have been standard, like 225 or whatever the normal 10-man.
I wish you hadn't have said that.
Said what?
Never mind. Never mind. Go ahead.
I don't know what I said.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, I'm confused now. So we do Razor Scale easily because, again, it's not a hard mode. Get him on the first landing, and he dies. Nothing good drops. Nobody cares. So we go on to XT, and we're like, let's do this hard mode. And, I mean, we should have been good. For starters, someone who I'm not gonna name names. When I say someone suggested somebody, I'm not gonna say who it was. I don't want to call people out. I'm not that kind of person. But somebody was like, let's skip the trash. We don't need to kill the trash. You just go straight forward and you kill him at the stairs up to the portal there. So we go and we give it a couple tries. The first try we did pretty well. But it was kind of clear that we just didn't have the DPS and heals all worked out properly and so on. So we tried a few more times. Second or third try, somebody somehow pulled the trash. We were having a really good attempt, and it was like, oh, we're definitely on pace. And then like someone's like, oh, we got the trash. Probably should have killed the trash to begin with.
You know that guy is the guy sitting over the corner. We got this in pace. He's like, yeah, you think you do. Pew.
Yeah,
It was the hunter, wasn't it?
we didn't have a hunter.
Oh, okay.
So
I wasn't there.
it probably
It's always
wasn't
the hunter.
It's usually some kind of range in the back, but yeah. So then we killed the trash, and we're like, okay, we had a good attempt. We've killed the trash now. We got this. So a few attempts later, we're still trying. We eventually kill XT hard mode, and it's getting on in the evening at this point, and I'm starting to regret most of my life choices that have led me to this point.
I can imagine. I'm getting tired hearing this.
So we go on, and
I've already heard this story.
after XT,
I was getting comfortable. This chair.
It's a very manly sitting posture you have there.
Sorry.
so after, well, you're right
I
there.
almost all right up my shorts too. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you don't have the dangly bits. Well, I mean, well, never mind.
So after XT, you've got Iron Council. So we go to do Iron Council hard mode, which I guess is a bit of a DPS check, I guess. And And we're doing it with one tank who's just tanking them in a big blob right in the middle, right? So there's some confusion at this point because some members of our raid just kind of were looking at this from the standpoint of a bunch of skilled geared players instead of a bunch of alts and me, who is not an alt but might as well be given my gear score. So we're doing this and we try a few times and we fail. And we're trying to do, like, because you know on Iron Council, the small guy, he does that, like, explosion, right? Some of us, myself included, assume we're running out during this because that's what I've always done. I mean, why just stand there and take the damage when you can get out of the way? But I guess a bunch of people were also just assuming we were standing in because that's what the really high-end guilds do. So they're expecting Divine Sack to be popped while we're standing in. Not all of the paladins know that we're standing in, and there's just a bunch of chaos and nonsense going on. We wipe a few times, and then a bunch of people leave. So basically this entire other group that we had merged with, they all mysteriously disconnected at the same time. And mysteriously also left Discord at the same time and then didn't return.
Like they didn't say anything, they just left.
No, they just quit because that's what people do. They don't. Why explain yourself when you can just kind of ghost people? So they disappeared, and some of us were like, oh yeah, you know what? This is a good effort, but maybe we should just walk away while we're ahead because it's like 1:15 at this point, and we've killed 3 bosses. So we spend the next hour trying to fill these couple spots that open up in the raid. And so we finally start attempting again because what would happen was, first of all, so we were falling short on the DPS check. So the solution to that, which I'm not going to pretend to understand the logic behind this, but the solution to that was for Bob to switch from his rogue, who was at the top of the DPS chart, to his tank. So, and then try and fill the DPS slot. So that was a choice. I didn't understand it, but I didn't question it because who knows? So
probably make it easier to fill the spot.
Probably, but he also super didn't want to tank. So I don't know.
I remember because he had done tanking earlier.
Yeah, because he had tanked a whole run earlier. So I was like, you know what? You do what you want to do. It's your run at this point. You're leading it, so go for it. So yeah, we finally fill because we'd fill a spot and we'd summon them and we'd be like, okay, we're ready to go, and then that person would drop, and we're like, okay. So we'd fill the spot and then we'd get ready to go, and then that person would drop, and then we'd fill the spot and we'd be ready to go, and then that person would drop. And that went on for like an hour. And we're pushing 2 a.m. at this point. We've got 2 bosses dead, and this is in this raid that's been going on for 4 hours now. And I'm just sitting there thinking, this is something. So we finally kill Iron Council hard mode. And that was kind of the block that we were at, because then we went and we downed Kolagarn like it's nothing, because Kolagarn's nothing. And then we killed Cat Lady like it was nothing, because Cat Lady's nothing. And then we killed Hodir, and got the hard mode. Like, it was easy. We destroyed him. It was great. We went and killed Thorum, got the hard mode. And after Thorum, we've been going for a while now, and I need loot. And not a single item that is even kind of good for me has dropped at this point. Like, there has been nothing. And I'm looking at the clock, and I've been here for 5.5 hours now, and I'm like, I've gotten nothing so far. This is terrible. Like, how have I not gotten a single drop? So we go and we kill Freya hard mode again, and still nothing. Like, tier pieces are dropping, but it's not for me. It's the ones I can't use. Plate's dropping, but it's healing plate. Or no, not healing, but it's tanking plate. If it was healing, I would have rolled off spec. But it's tanking plate, and I don't have a tanking spec on this character. I'm healing in ret, so I can't use any of that. And it's just like, oh man, it's it's more exhausting because I can't use any of the loot. So then we get to the point where we now have Mimron, Vezix, and Yogg left, and it is 3:45 in the morning, and I have to get up in 3 hours to take, what did we say his name was? Jimmy Jack.
Our youngest.
And I had to take
Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Jim to school at 7. I have to get him up for school, and I'm thinking, man, I just want this to end. And So Bob's like, all right, we're doing Squid Games, which apparently what that is you all line up. You know the trash before Mimron with like the scrap bots and the bomb bots and all that stuff that's not hard, but a giant pain in the butt. So if you just skip past that and someone hits the button for the train, everyone can teleport straight to Mimron.
Yeah.
So the Squid Game is when everybody lines up at the start of that trash and makes a run for it, and the first person to hit the button for the train gets 500 gold. And so I'm like, all right, worth a try. So we're going, and I've got my paladin abilities, right? So I'm like, okay. So someone sends like a pet in for the first one, and we're like, oh, score. No one got aggro with that one. And we're going, and then we're passing some stuff, and I'm near the front at this point, and I'm like, shoot, I'm going to die next. I've only got one bubble. And then Bob rocket boots past me, and I'm like, yeah, go Bob, you take the damage. And he dies, and I've got my bubble up, and I'm running for the button, and I've got everything on me because I think I'm the last one alive at this point, and then my bubble wears off, and I'm too slow, and I die. And so nobody made it to the button, and we're all dead now, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm done. It's been 6 hours. I'm tired. I've gotten no loot. Replace me if you like, but I've got to go to bed. And they're like, and Bob's like, oh, well, I don't want to go through the process of filling again, so we're just going to call a raid. We called it there. So I'm like, okay, I got no loot that entire run. But I'm like, okay, at least I got a bunch of conquest emblems. Maybe I can get an upgrade from that. So I go to the upgrade vendor, and the cheapest thing you can get is the neck item for 19 conquest emblems. Guess how many I got on that run?
18.
17, but close.
Oh.
I was too short of being able to even get something from the emblems.
You were too short.
I was too short. That's what I get for rolling a dwarf. No, I'm human. I'm not a dwarf. But yeah, it was an adventure of a run. But the thing is, it was fun. That's the kind of thing that I play this game for. It's for those sloppy kind of like I'm not about going in there and clearing everything perfectly in some kind of speed run. Not that kind of player.
That's no fun, right?
I enjoyed the run. I was exhausted by the end. The only thing I was upset about on that run was the fact that I didn't get any loot. I wanted, if I had gotten like even one good draw, if I had gotten one 10-man hard mode, I said it right. If I had gotten one 10-man hard mode, did I say it right twice?
Yeah.
If I had gotten one drop.
But I heard a stutter in the second one.
It was close. If I had gotten one piece of nice loot from that run, I would have not been tired at all the next day. I would have been riding high on that. But I got nothing, and I couldn't even buy anything with my emblems. And it was a sad day. So yeah, that and the people that kind of ghosted without any warning, that's annoying. But it happens. It was a pug.
One quick alpha dungeon would have got you 2 more.
Yeah, but at that point, I just wanted to go to sleep.
For 2 hours, you would have been better off just taking them to school and then going to sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I go up to bed, and Sam's like, "Well, I have to get up for work in 45 minutes.
No.
You're just coming up now."
Well, what did we call him? Jimmy Jim?
Jimmy Jack.
Anyways.
Jiminy Jim.
Jiminy Jack John.
He crawls into bed with me at like 12:30. I'm like, okay, Josh will be up real soon to like move him, and I'm not going to bother.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And this kid doesn't stop moving, like ever. So I'm sleeping like crap.
Jiminy Jack John's got the Jimmy legs.
I keep looking, I'm like, okay, it's 1:30. He's got to be up soon. Okay, so I go back to sleep. He wakes me up again by turning or whatever. I look at my phone. It's like 3:00. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, should I make sure he's like alive? I didn't text him. I went back to sleep.
You didn't care.
Yeah,
And-
if he was dead, he'd still be dead in the morning.
And then it was like 3:45. He's still not in bed. Our kid is still tossing and turning. And I'm like, okay, should I move him? I'm like, no, I got it. My alarm goes off in 15 minutes.
That's the bone you have to pick with Bob.
And I'm just like, if it wasn't for Bob, Josh would come to bed at like 12:30.
Bob, you're a bad influence. Love you, man.
Yes, I would have come to bed at like 12:30, but I would have had 17 less conquest items, emblems,
I know, but I would have been
and a
sleeping
bunch
better.
less achievements. I also got achievements. I got so many achievements on
It's
that run.
not about you, Sam. It's
I'm
about the
one who had to
conquest.
work at 5:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
Well, at least I didn't have to work at 5:00 in the morning. I was tired that next day though,
I know you were.
because I did have to work, but I didn't have to work till like 2.
You're insane.
So I took like a 2-hour nap before
Mere
work.
casual.
It's the only raid I did that week. That's pretty casual. There's people that raid Ulduar like 16 times a week.
Yeah.
Those people have problems.
So that's what you did this week?
So what did you do this week, Alan?
Oh, this week. So I finally raided Ulduar, got it all done. Got 4 hard modes down.
You went and raided Ulduar?
Yeah, I got 4 hard modes down
When did you do that?
this week.
On Okona?
So here's the hard modes I did.
On Ass Candy.
No, I leveled up to 80 as well.
See, I'm waiting for the punchline because I know this isn't true.
So here's the hard modes that I did. I did Ignis, Razor Scale, Kolagarn, and Oriaya.
Those aren't hard modes.
So I got those hard modes down, got all the way up to 80. No, I didn't play much WoW. I did get on. I did try Rested XP. Started to level up, and then you bursted my bubble and you said, yeah, you don't want to be a paladin.
Well, there are so many. It's not. I
Yeah.
didn't say you don't want to be a paladin. I said I don't want you to be a paladin. I think is what I said.
Because Josh wants to be the top paladin.
Well, no,
He
but-
Well,
doesn't
no,
want-
no,
I'm a
he's
paladin,
got a legitimate thing.
But
Two
like,
paladins.
there's like 4 or 5 other people who
Yeah.
have joined our guild and all rolled paladins.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
can't all be paladins.
We did 3 paladins at once.
that was fun.
There are so many paladins right now.
But and then so Bob said, "Well, boost somebody if that's $70 plus tax, less in the States," and he threatened to send me money. And I was like, "No, I can't.
Well, you know what we should do?
Can't just take money from." Okay, I know you're not a stranger, but
It's
yeah,
candy. You can't take candy from strangers.
You can't.
Money is okay.
I got it
No,
wrong. I
Shoot,
opposite.
I gotta stop taking candy from strangers.
Just kidding.
You know what we should do? We should set up a Patreon and let people donate money for Al's boost a character on Benediction Fund.
He wouldn't like that. I said Josh, but I meant Al. I feel like he wouldn't be okay with that.
But that's what people who make content do. They set up things like Patreon so people can voluntarily contribute to the cause if they want to. Because that Al having a level 80 on Benediction is extra content. Can you imagine Al raiding with Bob?
Al would have to stay awake to raid with Bob.
That's half the fun.
If I do that, I'm changing my name to Neil.
Neil?
Why Neil?
So that somebody can walk up to us and go, "Are you guys Neil and Bob, or is that just what you do?"
Sam doesn't get it.
Thank you, Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, he's terrible. Is that really one of his jokes?
It's in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Okay. Do you know he changed his name briefly in the 90s for like a sitcom?
The artist formerly known as Ford Fairlane.
So yeah, I think that you rating the 3 of us rating together, I think would be a fun time. Because it would be hilarious because you start getting tired at around 6:00 in the evening, and
No, I had a good week.
I've been up. This is two nights that I've been up late with Bob playing, and I don't think he gets tired
I was up till just after 3 last night.
playing Valheim though. Why can you stay up late for Valheim and not for us with WoW?
I was enjoying Valheim.
Oh, you don't enjoy WoW?
It's this whole, we spent all this time on Horde. We leveled Horde up. Now we're back to leveling up again, and I want to do the end game content. I want to play with Bob, but I got so far to go, and I started to feel overwhelmed. And plus, I mentioned Valheim, and people wanted me to get the thing going, so I felt like I had to get the thing going. So I'm trying to find a way to balance it.
I've been playing with you.
But I got myself to a good base now. My bronze is all upgraded, so
Oh, nice.
I can now hand-to-hand trolls.
Hand to hand, like stand toe to toe with trolls.
Yeah.
Nice. But
And
we gotta
I'll be
get
playing
you.
with the two-hander, and not many people do that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Are you kidding me? That thing is awesome when the forest rises up against us.
Yeah.
Like I pull them all out to the middle, and I just sit there, and I don't do anything until I do my power attack, which is a 360.
I just find it so slow and it takes so much stamina. I like fighting with a knife and a bow. Those are my 2 favorite weapons, knife and bow.
How do you fire the bow with a knife in your hand?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming I put it in my pocket or something when I'm firing the bow.
That's it. I gotta get my bow out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but anyways, I think we need to focus on getting you a level 80 on Benediction.
I'm trying to decide if I want to spend $70.
Well, even if you don't want to spend $70, what's your what do you want? What do you want up there? Your shaman? Do you want a rogue
If I
up
take
there?
my shaman up, then someone will get mad.
Why?
because I'll be leveling with.
Oh, is that the one we play together?
Yeah.
Do you have another character in that range that you
No,
can swap
I
in?
want the shaman. Well, the paladin.
No, but I mean, if like say
No, I would have to start back over at 1 for another character. I have the shaman and the paladin.
then swap the paladin. We haven't all had time to
Oh,
play
you mean
together.
swap
anyways.
over? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the paladin's a little bit lower.
Like I mean,
but
start like level the shaman, and then have your paladin to play with the two of us.
Yeah, you're a warrior, not a paladin.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I
warrior,
can
not a
do that.
paladin, and she's a priest, not a paladin. So a paladin is a perfectly reasonable addition to that threesome.
A warrior and a priest. I'm like the amalgamation of you two.
Exactly.
Where the
It's
streets
like-
have no name.
It's kind of like how.
I know, I'm just bugging.
So I'm a warrior, Sam's a paladin, and you're the combination warrior of paladin.
I'm a priest.
That reminds priest. I'm a warrior, she's a priest, you're a paladin, which is a combination of priest and warrior. It reminds me of back, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago on the Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They had 3 players. They had, I forget his first name, but his last name was Wren. They had
Stimpy.
Aki Berg, and they had Michael Renberg. So I always thought it would be cool if there was a goal that was scored by Renberg from Ren and Berg.
Nice.
See, so like Paladin, Priest, Warrior, Renberg, Ren, and Berg, because
Yeah.
you combine the two and make the other. It's a story.
Renberg.
I find it amusing. So
That sounds like red rum.
I was just telling Al while you were out of the room that he needs a level 80 on this server for fun and content reasons.
Yeah.
So if you were to somehow get boosted, nobody knows how this would happen, but if you were to
Oh, I know how it would happen. You'd have to buy the boost.
if you were to somehow get boosted, we could power you up from 70 to 80 pretty quick.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I don't feel like finding the answer to, so I'm going to ask our listeners. If someone had purchased a Burning Crusade boost up to 60 back when that was a thing, is that your one boost per account, or can you buy the Northrend boost? Is that a separate thing?
You're asking for Sam.
I'm asking on behalf of Sam, who may or may not have boosted a character already once. But
I
this is a
boosted
different.
it and I didn't even play it.
You played it with us a bit. It was worth the $20. It was on sale. It was fine.
Ooh, maybe if there's a sale coming up.
There might be eventually, but why wait?
Yeah.
And you get a free pet. Well, it's not free; it's the cost of the boost. But you get a pet and a fishing vendor.
I could use more fishing vendors in my life.
You could. Unfortunately, you can't vendor your trash to it. You can only buy from it, so it's kind of lame, but it's still kind of cool.
Lame and cool is a good combo. You still don't have frames on those. Oh.
I will get to it. I am a busy person, Alan. So yeah. So do you have anything you want to say about this week, Sam?
No, I didn't do anything much this week because we were opposite shifts.
Yeah, but we played together a little
And
bit.
I logged on a few times thinking Al would be on, but he was on Valheim.
Oh, message him and tell him to get on and play with
Right?
you.
Tell me you're
he
there
can
and I will
be-
swap over.
He can be yanked away from Valheim if you pull
Can
hard
he?
enough.
Tell me that you're on, unless I'm actually in the middle of a commitment. You know, if I'm there with Oogly and we're like mining a copper node, because that's the most exciting thing we've done so far, I think. Although I did raise
That's exciting.
I did raise some animals. I got pets.
That's nice. Wolves.
Yes, and pigs.
So we need you two at 70 so we can have a group at high level and we can start working on stuff because
So I might not be able to boost someone because
I
I
don't know.
already.
I
don't
can
know if
imagine it's a
boost
different
or not.
product. It's a North Rend upgrade. It's not.
Yeah, it's a different boost. Like I think the limit 1 per account is for that specific boost. So because it's a new era and new type of boost, it's probably available to you. I would think. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Al's fallen asleep.
But if I was to boost, what would I boost?
What do you want to play?
A character.
I know, but what are you?
I'm a paladin.
What would you
Al
boost?
Surprise.
is probably going to boost as shaman. You don't want to play rogue?
Well, if they open up transfers, I'll just bring my rogue over.
That's true. Yeah.
Although, transferring rogue and faction transferring rogue,
Same price as a boost.
Yeah, but I get one boost and I get as many transfers as I want.
That's true. Well,
And if I buy the multi, then it would ultimately be cheaper. The part that would suck, though, if I brought my druid over and transferred him to Alliance.
yeah, because can you faction transfer back and forth?
Yeah.
I almost made the mistake I made last week.
Oh, by the way, I just want to point out, faction transferred my Night Elf druid over to Horde. Okay, so they automatically figure out what you get. So I picked Tauren.
Yeah.
They gave me, and I'm not at exalted with any of the Horde factions on that. I got a skeletal warhorse.
What?
I got a skeletal
I mean,
warhorse.
I heard you, but why?
I don't know. I got
That
a
doesn't
skeletal
make any
warhorse.
sense.
I
That's
don't know
weird.
the significance of that. So.
It's the undead mount. And he's a Tauren, so he probably looks ridiculous on it.
You're probably squishing it.
I'm not going to kill it. First of all,
Can
we
you
keep
show
it
me
in
a
our
picture
pocket.
Of that?
So is on Alliance is alien goat monsters? Is that the only option for shaman?
No.
No, you could be something else. What else can you be?
I think a dwarf.
No, dwarfs can't be shamans, can they? I think it might just be Draenei.
You might be right.
Because I know
What
on
is your
Horde,
paladin?
there's only the
Oh,
one.
no,
There's
no.
only one race for paladin on Horde.
Burning Crusade released the Draenei Shaman.
Yeah,
I don't know if they extended it to any other races.
I
when
feel
it came
like
out with Wrath.
you'll get Worgen.
Where's the panda people?
That's like
In-
2 expansions away.
Oh,
They're behind the mist right now. Cataclysm has to happen in order to raise the mists.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
sounds
it's,
about right.
that's why it's the mists of Pandaria.
Yes, because that's where the mists were.
Yeah. So I would play my shaman. If I have to be a skeletal space goat,
Enhancement? Space squid goat.
yeah,
They're not skeletal. I mean, they probably have skeletons underneath.
I'd be the goat face gremlin. Yeah. Most likely enhancement, but I can go both ways.
I like it. I like enhancement.
I knew it.
Enhancements been my
I don't think
I'm a person that
Elemental
needs
ever-
enhancements.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't think Elemental ever comes close to enhancement in this expansion. Like, I think enhancement's always going to be better.
I tried elemental ones. You just sit in the back and you're shooting. I might as well just be a mage. I like to be up there,
Smacking stuff.
being right in the face of the boss. True danger.
Well, you shouldn't be in the boss's face. You should be behind it, just for reasons.
Well, until you get into Pit of Sauron. Is it Pit of Sauron? Not Pit of Sauron. The other
Balls
one.
of Reflection,
Halls of Reflection.
Forge of Souls.
You said balls of reflection.
Is that all you think about these days, Sam?
Reflections.
So what would I was thinking balls, but
I know.
what would so if you boosted a character, what
I
would
don't
you
know.
want to boost?
I have no idea.
Like, do you enjoy
because
the
I don't
priest?
know because I do enjoy the priest, but why would I boost a priest when we're leveling a priest together? But like,
That's the one you would boost.
oh, the one that I've already started.
Because Al's
Is that how
talking
that
about
works?
his shaman. Yeah,
You
But
can
then
choose
what would we
you
be
have to
playing
make
together?
a character.
you could do one you already have.
Yeah, your character has to be made. So if you're going to boost one, if you don't have it, you have to
Oh, I
create
thought
it.
I had to
believe.
create a new one to boost
Well, no,
it.
you
I didn't
can.
know.
It has to be a character you have. You could boost if you had a level 68. You could boost it to 70. It would be stupid.
Why?
But you can. Like, you can boost any character you already
What
have.
level are we right now?
Like 25.
Would it be beneficial to do that?
Yes,
And then what would we play together?
that.
I'd bring
Oh.
my
I would play my
paladin,
paladin.
over. I'd
I'd
bring
play-
my paladin over.
Oh, you mean on our lobies? What would we play together?
Yeah.
Well, you could
Or
play
would
your
we
druid. He could play his paladin, and I'd play my warrior because I can't boost a second character.
My paladin's my druid's only level 12.
Yes, but 12 to 25 is a much shorter route than 25 to 70.
Especially when you use rested XP. You use the code Mere Casuals at checkout.
Yes, and you haven't been playing it as much, so you have actual rested XP as well.
Yeah.
Use the code Mere Casuals at checkout.
Exactly. Or follow the link in our Discord.
Has anyone ever purchased that yet?
No, not yet.
They're probably, you guys have way too sold out. So
It's not selling out when you're not actually receiving any money from it.
yeah. Well, isn't it though? You have to receive money to be a seller because I think it's once you
Yeah,
take
that's literally what that means.
I think it's an advertisement.
It's kind of an advertisement, but I liked my advertisement at the beginning.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Do you like my plugs throughout?
Yeah, I mean it's fun in an annoying kind of amusing way. It's
So-
it's self-aware.
Yeah. So are we going to
Just wait until we start plugging Raid Shadow Legends at the beginning of every podcast.
So is that, are we doing that as boosting a character?
I don't know.
We should consider it when we all get our tax returns.
Yeah, okay.
Sam. So do we have anything else to say, or should we wrap this up? Because
Well, I got my work stories.
Oh, you want to tell work
Pause
stories?
for Al's work story intro.
It's time for Almost Interesting Work Stories with Al. I actually made one. What's your work story? We'll close with work stories this week.
So we got
that way, if people don't want to listen to them, they can stop listening now.
we got this new product. It's a ginger beef.
Ginger beef?
Yeah. So
Like
I didn't know you were allowed to eat those.
well, so it's coming down the belt, right? So I'm looking at my customers there, and I look at the box, and I look at the girl, and I said, "Okay, do you honestly think that is made with red-haired cows?" To which she responded, "Goes, yep, it has no soul."
Oh, you're lucky you get the customers you get through your checkout.
No, it's me. It's all me because some of them have been in bad moods, and they've been in better moods when they left.
Some of that.
Ginger beef?
Yeah.
From red-haired cow.
Where is it
We
frozen?
were just at Al's place of employment like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know. And we spent way more money than we were supposed to. But I want
Are we
that.
still
Did
pretending that
you-
people don't know where you work?
I don't know. I don't care. Did you use your coupons? Because they expired today.
Oh.
There's coupons?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
for
never,
being at the tier you're at.
Oh, that's
yeah, Josh
expensive
doesn't
now,
want
by the way.
the executive membership anymore. Well, they know where we work now. He works
No.
No.
Why?
Why what?
You don't shop there enough?
No.
Oh,
To
okay.
be worth $120?
Well, I want to look at your rewards and see. And then you have to use the coupons to make it worthwhile. But anyway, so I went up on break the other day. Yesterday.
Oh, there's a second story.
Yesterday was the other day, and one of my coworkers,
It's a tall building.
I was making a coffee, and one of my coworkers was complaining about her neighbor. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm tempted to call the city because I'm certain that they built this deck and it's not within code and this and that because they annoyed me." And I'm sitting here making coffee, and I sat down and I said, "Cynthia," because I don't want to use her real name.
Mhm.
Actually, no, I like Cynthia because there was a really hot girl that I went to school with.
Doesn't matter.
Cindy, I said, "You sound like an awesome person to live near." She goes, "Well, no, they just do this and they just do that." And so we're going through this thing, and then they're doing their bong, and and they're spitting, and there's a guy over here going, "Well, what are you gonna do if you have a mouthful of phlegm?" He goes, "Well, if you get phlegm, maybe you should find a different way to get your drugs, like vaping. Vaping does the same thing." He's like, "No, it doesn't." She goes, "Yes, it does." Okay, so it's a person that does drugs over here, and her. And she's arguing with him about drugs, and he's like, "No, take it from me. It doesn't do the same thing." And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "You seem like a really nice person. Like, do you like anybody?" And then the guy sitting right next to me goes, "Well, she has her dog." And I said, "Yeah, and right now he's trying to get out of the apartment." She goes, "No, he's nice. He's a good dog." I said, "Yeah, does he have the sad puppy dog eyes?" She goes, "Yes, it's because he's fucking miserable." I said, "Cheer the fuck up." And then the other guy goes, "Yeah." And then we started talking about work, and the guy over here who does drugs was, "Yeah, I know I only have a couple more years of this because I'm going to be a teacher." And I said, "Oh, cool. I'm going to be a grandfather soon. Where are you going to teach?" He's like, "Why, you don't want to send your kids there?" I said, "No, I'm going to make sure they don't go there." I said, "No, actually, my goal in life is that I'm going to move next to her, and I'm going to send my kids to your school."
Just to make people miserable?
Yeah.
Your kids are too old for their school, probably.
Yeah, but no, like seriously, I figured you'd like that one because of your neighbors.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where do they live?
I don't know where she
Was
lives.
it us? Oh, well, you don't do drugs.
No, we're not
so.
the neighbors. So, yeah.
Personally, once I got that puppy dog eyes comment out, she shut the fuck up.
Oh, and then when you go into work next, you're going to have a visit from your HR person.
I didn't say anything HR worthy there.
No?
Told her
guess
to
not.
cheer the fuck up.
I guess that's true.
But no, seriously, it was a good burn.
If there's one thing I've learned in my many years as an adult, it's that women just love it when you tell them to cheer up and smile more.
Sad puppy dog eyes was the best lead into a burn ever.
What?
See, what bothers me the most
What?
is when you tell me to, I don't even know the right word.
Come?
To like I don't
Right.
even know. Like, tell me to be happy or whatever. When I'm fine, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not miserable. I'm not anything. And
Stop being so mad, Sam.
yeah. When you tell me to stop being mad when I'm not mad,
You sound mad.
it's just my face.
Do you know what bothers?
And your voice.
Do you know what bothers me the most?
What?
Is the fact that your Rugrats sweater and your Tom and Jerry shirt are the same shade of green.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I
All right.
also have a hair clip that color.
Oh, you interrupted my all right, we got to go. Do you have anything else that color that you'd like to talk about before we end the episode?
No, but I think I have two. My Flintstone shirt is also this color.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's the one I was
How you doing, Fred? That was my worst imitation of Barney ever.
I couldn't even tell who that was supposed to be.
I love you. I can't do it today. See, when I try, it just sucks.
Yeah, see,
That's
I
not-
thought you were doing... That's the wrong Barney.
I can do both Barneys. I've done both Barneys.
Anyways, that's our
okay.
cue to
Yeah,
leave.
let's stop.
Well, one's a dinosaur, one's caveman. They were
Stop,
there at the
let's
same
stop,
time.
let's stop while we're ahead. So I'm waiting for you guys to say your thing.
That's outrageous.
Who's gonna see that? Who's gonna
You.
every time?